Hi there. My name is Pete Miller from the Speakers Coach, and today, just for a very brief time, we're going to be speaking about the new conversation around wedding MCs, the where the future of wedding MCing is going. And I've got a few ideas, and I thought it might be good just to put them out there online, on the net, and see what others think of them. The pandemic has changed things forever, especially live events, and it's really an opportunity. And, the Chinese symbol for crisis is also the same Chinese symbol for opportunity. And there is a huge opportunity here. Now, live events for the corporate world still haven't rebounded like the weddings have. People will always fall in love, and they'll always want a wedding. And this has, from my conversation with wedding MCs, there is a lot of work out there at the moment. People have been putting their weddings off for the last 2 years, and now some MCs are working during the weeknights. I've only ever done one or two on the weeknights. I remember one particularly on a Wednesday night, and it was difficult getting the atmosphere going on a Wednesday night. I mean, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there's always a charged up atmosphere, and the MC can use that. Particularly Saturday, where if they get, a bit full on, they can recover the next day. Sunday's always a bit mild. Sunday is always, finishing at 10. No one wants to go till 12 on a Sunday and wake up on Monday morning and go to work. And Friday, there's a different energy altogether because they're kind of releasing it from the week, and they can recover on the Saturday. But Saturday and Friday have got different energies as Sunday has. And I've done when it's really busy, Friday night, Saturday lunch, Saturday night, Sunday lunch, and it's all got a different kind of energy, and that's where a professional MC will pick up and be able to use that energy. Now, on a Wednesday night, that was difficult. I said, why do you want to have it on a Wednesday night? I think they probably got a bit of a discount anyway, but they said, this is the day we met. That was their kind of anniversary. I said, okay, fair enough. Let's just go with that. But yeah, it was a real struggle. There wasn't the same available energy. People knew in the back of their minds they had to turn up to work the next day, Thursday, and they didn't really want to let themselves go like you can do on a Friday and a Saturday night. Now, from my speaking with some MCs just in the last couple of weeks, they're saying that it's the same. They're saying that, working Monday night, working Wednesday night, working Thursday night, they're finding no difference. So that might be because of this recent pandemic, and people are trying to kind of compensate for it. We've all done a lot of compensating in the last couple of years, and we've all kind of needed to put our little differences aside and work together. And I guess that's what is happening here. Because I remember that Wednesday night, I don't call them gigs, and I'll explain why in a second, why I don't call them gigs. Just at the MC job, the wedding reception on a Wednesday night, and all the photographers and the DJ and everybody was saying, oh, this is weird, isn't it? We've never done a job on a Wednesday night before, and we were all sort of struggling with it. The audience was struggling with it. Everyone was struggling except the bride and groom. They thought it was a good idea. I think by the end of the night, they probably realized that it wasn't such a crash hot idea. That was years ago, many, many years ago. But now we are in a different situation, and people realize that their weddings have been postponed, put on the on the shelf for 2 years, and they're ripping and raring to go. And I think there's a built-up kind of feeling of geez, I really want to enjoy myself. And my sister went and saw a live band for the first time in 2 years, and she loved it. She absolutely, wow, I've really missed this live band. And I think everyone's got this pent-up desire to enjoy live events now, and it's lovely for people to also kind of congratulate the bride and groom in a different kind of way. They've understood that how hard it's been to plan a live event being put off and all these restrictions. And I think there's a real feeling that, well, you know, you've done it tougher than any bride and groom have ever done it before. We're going to turn up and we're going to give you more energy than we would normally give you, and more love, and everybody's sort of working hard. Now, I haven't personally done weddings during the week during this pandemic. I'm actually recording this overseas in another country, in Thailand, and so I'm not doing weddings here, unfortunately, because I don't speak the language that well. I hardly can speak English well, but Thai is a different kind of thing, but I know I just come back from Australia and talking to the MCs, and there's a lot of work. They're saying they're so busy now, and which is great. So if you were looking at this recording, wanting to be a wedding MC and thinking about getting into it, you've done the wedding MC course, then, you know, it's all available now. This is really the best time to become an MC or start an MC career. You've got lots and lots and lots and lots of opportunity. Hello, Angela. Angela's joining us. I'm waving hello. Yeah. Hi, I'm just speaking about the opportunities now that are available for MCs. If you're going to start an MC career, now is the very, very, very best time to start one, because there's so much work around, you know. And I know Angela's in a bit of a similar situation to me. I was just explaining that I'm not doing live work here in Thailand, and you're just recently had a baby, and you're not doing the same. So you're taking a bit of a break, but you are involved in the MC directory. What's your conversation been, Angela, with MCs as far as the quantity of work goes?
Oh, it definitely picked up a lot since the start of the year. I think because over the past 2 years, there's just so many weddings got postponed or even cancelled. And now things are getting better. I mean, the COVID is kind of under control. And then a lot of couples just want to get married. They can't wait anymore.
Yeah, they can't wait. And and I was explaining before about I did a wedding on a weekday many years ago because it was the day the bride and groom met. It was a Wednesday, and it was difficult. I really had to struggle to get everybody motivated. But now I think everyone's come to the party and they feel that weddings during the week are okay. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think wedding happening on any days of the week now. Yeah.
Right.
Fridays are filling up really quickly.
Fridays, yeah. I love Friday weddings, actually. Yeah. Hi, Joe. How you going, man?
Hello!
I like the background, man. That's pretty cool. Look at that.
That's how I have my my wedding meetings. I have a lot of them on Zoom. So, you know, I don't want to see my dirty office. Not that it's dirty, but, you know.
Right.
But, yeah, that's my thing. Look, I feel unspecial without a microphone, so I'll pull mine off, okay?
Yeah. Look, I can listen to podcasts and I can listen to Zoom and YouTube much better if the recording is a high quality. I find that with audio, and you know this is a live event as well. If the audio is not good in a live event, well, it's a real struggle. Don't you agree?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I find it because I have two screens, and when I'm doing a wedding meeting, I'm doing run sheets or whatever, and so if the microphone's there and I'm talking over here, I just lose it. So it's just easy for me to do it this way.
How is this sounding? Is my audio sounding? Is it sounding?
I know
okay?
You sound like you're Alan Jones, so it's good.
Alan Jones, right? You get out there and you MC properly, right? Actually, talking about Alan Jones, he's a very good MC. I've seen him MC corporate events, and yeah, he gets a lot of work as an MC, and well, because there's so much work around at the moment for wedding MCs, and that's really the reason why I'm thought of putting this call together is that, you know, what's the changing face of MCing? Have you noticed an increase in MCs trying to kind of get work, or have you had many inquiries about joining the MC directory?
I recently signed up a new MC. He's a really good English and Serbian speaking MC. He's amazing and very active on Instagram as well. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to have more MCs joining us. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess if there ever was a time to become a wedding MC, if you've been holding back, now is the time, because I just know from, people like Elvis. Oh, I mean, you and I both know how busy he is. He used to only see brides on a Monday night because he runs a family and he runs a full-time job. Now he said he's gone on to Tuesday night as well. His Tuesday night's full up, and now he's going to have to actually go into Wednesday nights as well, seeing bride and grooms, because he likes to see them in his home. He doesn't travel, and I recommend this as well. As opposed to sort of meeting at a coffee shop somewhere, because that's unpredictable. Or what I used to do is go and drive to the bride and groom's home myself. When I first started off, I thought, oh, no, this is way too difficult. So now they always come to my office. Is that how you like to run it as well, Angela?
I actually prefer to meet at a public place. And that has been the case for many years. Now it's all different. Now we just turn online. Most of the time, we just Zoom meetings. Yeah. Right.
Because of COVID.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Okay. And when are you thinking about getting back into them? I know with the baby and everything like that, it's pretty hard to kind of schedule that. Have you got a date that you want to start again?
Not at the moment, probably for me, because baby cannot get vaccinated. I just trying to be extra cautious and not taking any risk. I guess when the whole pandemic is over, or whenever it's safe to do so, I will definitely go back as soon as possible. In fact, last year, in November, I actually accepted a job that was end of February, which was last Saturday. But because of the outbreak of Omicron, I had to pull out. It was a really, really, really tough decision. I was so disappointed, but it's a safe decision for me. So yeah.
One of the things about double booking yourself, and telling the bride and groom that you can't do their wedding, that's a difficult thing, and we've all done it, and sometimes it's by accident, and that's why the MC directory was originally created many years ago, because I got double booked. And I didn't want to disappoint the bride and groom, and they had nowhere else to go. So I kind of started to organize a few MCs on the side, and that's how it started. And it became
your backups.
Backup. Yeah. How's it going, Joe? Did you get it all?
I'm back.
You're
yes,
done?
I'm back. Actually, I just received 2 calls in that time. One was the bride that we just got off the phone with. She wants me to make a quick change to the run sheet that I just did. And then I got another call from a guy. Hey, mate, I just emailed you. Are you available on this date? I go, I haven't even looked at the email, man.
Right.
And it's not like it's a close wedding. It's 8th of the 7th next year.
Right. 8th of the 7th. Wow. So it's all, you're doing weddings on during the week still, when I talked to you last time?
This week I've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Wow.
Next week I've got my day job in between.
Wow.
Next week I've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The week after I've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday for weeks.
Wow. And do you feel, I was saying it earlier that I did a Wednesday wedding years ago, and it was difficult because that was the day that they met, and they just wanted to have their wedding on the day they met. And I thought, fair enough. But it was, it had no atmosphere, and everybody knew they were.
Really?
Wanted to, yeah. But now I think with the pandemic, the audience is a little bit more forgiving, don't you think?
Yes. Well, I did a Wednesday wedding. It's funny you say that's the day they met. I did a Wednesday wedding on the 9th of February, which was a Wednesday, and it was spectacular. Like you'd forget that it was a
Wednesday.
It was a Wednesday night.
Wow.
So it was really spectacular. So it was good. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, but I agree with you.
Maybe nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that,
Let's
Angela?
look at the date, the 8th of the 7th. That's the 8th.
I was going to say, maybe nowadays people are ready to party on any day.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
They
right.
waited for 2 years to party.
Yes. People nowadays, especially what happened, they want to dance. But that wedding there, I remember thinking to myself, you forget, like I had to kick the people out at midnight. They'll go to the DJ, one more. I'm like, are you nuts?
Wow.
Did you all have work tomorrow? But it was good. It was good.
But they're not going to the office; they're going to work from home. So that might make it a little bit.
Even still, Pete. Look, people. I found my niche. I think we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago. I found my niche when it comes to weddings and what people want of me. And people are hiring me now as the party MC. So that's just how it is. And you know, at the weddings where I go to, I have that energy that I bring out, and that's what the bride and groom want. And if the bride and groom want it, that's generally what their crowd will want as well.
Yeah. And
you know, it works. You know, I say to couples all the time, I go, if you want the MC that's cool, calm, and collected, that's, you know, ladies and gentlemen, welcome you today on this beautiful day because love is them. That's not me. I'll tell them I'm all about passion and energy, and you know, I don't talk a lot on the microphone. I talk very little on the microphone. But when I do talk, it's very energetic. It's very passionate. It's, you know, it's out there. And some people like it. Some people hate it.
Right. And you developed that from being an interactive DJ originally.
Yes. Many years ago. I just developed that from reading people. I know how to read a crowd and read the people in the room and just read the room, really, and you learn. And if the bride and groom come into feeling it, you know that's what they want. They want that kind of vibe. So you vibe off that. And if that's the bride and groom and they've hired me, there's already two chinks in the chain that are linked together. So I just work with it. I work the room. I've had harder rooms. I have my little tricks that I do to get people up that I've learnt now. I've got this thing called I nicknamed it the chair shaker. That's my name. I'm going to trademark it, but it's a way that, because there's some crowds sometimes, especially after they've eaten, they're very hard to move. So I've developed a way that all photographers love because it works.
The chair shaker.
The chair shaker. That's my name for it. I'm going to trademark it.
You get people on chairs or lifting their chairs in the air?
No. So it's a little trick that I developed. So, and it all depends on the crowd, right? But, you know, mains are finished. We have our first dance. And then you invite everyone up. And because people, depending, especially with Italians, right? Or Portuguese, you know, they've eaten and they're just so full that it's just, they need that little extra nudge. And depending on what's happening, you know, I usually use this when it's a bad DJ. If it's a good DJ, I don't have to do anything. But if it's a bad DJ that I haven't worked with or he doesn't know what he's doing, so I let it go for about half an hour, 40 minutes. I wait. People have desserts, whatever it is. And if the crowd still isn't vibing, I need an excuse to get them all up. Yep. So I say to the bride and groom, come and stand in front of the bridal table together. Okay. And then I stop the music. I have the photographer standing on the chairs with me on the main table. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do something very special right now for our bride and groom. We're going to get everyone onto the dance floor, please. Everyone up. Come on, we're going to wait for everyone up. So everyone comes up. Bridal party's right behind. I go, we're going to take 2 photos right now. On the first, on the count of 3, you're all going to put your hands up near the screen. 1, 2, 3. Ah! And I go, no, that was no good. That was no good. No, we're going to do it again. This time, you two are going to kiss. 1, 2, 3. Everyone's screaming. They kiss. Hey, DJ, now they're all up. Give us something to dance to. And I've already told him to play the cheesiest music that you can think of. I've said, you play something, and I'll tell him what to play. Michael Jackson, Madonna, something that works with the crowd. If you can get that crowd for the next 15 minutes singing, the reason why they're singing, because when they sing, they get dry mouths, they drink more. There's a science to everything, right? Science to everything I do.
Yes.
But you get them, DJ plays that, they're all up on the dance floor and they're dancing. You've shaken the chairs to get them up. That's why I call it the chair shaker.
Ah, right. Okay. Yes, there's
come on, way since our first interview, Pete.
A crowd psychology is a fascinating subject, really fascinating. And I guess you've just learned it on the job, right? I mean, you don't go and study this thing.
No, I as I said, I've many years of reading people, and I used to be in sales, and I used to, for my day job, and I read people there, and being in radio, when you're in radio, you would know this, but when you're in radio, you've got to be bouncier than both people in the room, and that's usually you on your own.
Yeah.
So when you're interviewing someone, so you understand what I mean straight away. When you're interviewing somebody, they could be flat, and you've got to really keep that spark going. So you've got to read them and find what makes them spark. But when you're on your own, you're going to be bouncy enough for everybody.
Yeah.
So it really, you just learn that over the time, and I got to the point now where I am, that I use it. I use all the things that I've learned.
Right. You're transferring your enthusiasm and your energy to the 100 or so people that are there. You're kind of giving them your energy. You're kind of like a needle. You're injecting your energy into them, and they go, "Oh, wow, okay." Is that a fair way to describe it?
Yeah. In a way, it's just look. It's what we all do. We all use our skills and our learnings to promote onto the night. I'm very.
Have you ever used the napkins? Because I love the napkins. That really works well for me.
I do, but not as often. I find that other people are using it more than me now, only because look, I'll use it if it's needed. So I like to have some aces in my pocket, but I use it in a different way. A lot of people used to do it at the beginning of the night, when they're serving food. I use it as a way to wake up a crowd sometimes, so to speak.
Right. I've only ever used it for the introduction. And ladies and gentlemen, I will explain to them while the bridal party is outside. I'll say, we're going to do something really special now. And see these napkins? And I'll get them to trial it out. I said, pick it up. Okay, now wave it in the air. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Yeah, and no, you're not doing it properly over there. Let's do it again. And this is a way to kind of get, all the latecomers are coming in and to get their attention. And this is before I've kind of introduced the bridal party, and then only when the bride and groom come in, and then it just goes. It's a really great way to physicalize the whole introduction.
Did you not get told off by a photographer?
What was that?
Did you not get told off by a photographer?
Maybe I did. Maybe
I've
years
done that
ago.
once.
Right.
I did that once at an
It makes it
entry.
difficult for them. Right.
And at the end of the day, they're paying big money for that. I've done it once at an entry. So what I did it the other night. It was after speeches. It was before mains were served. I had asked the venue. I walked into the kitchen, because I walk into every kitchen. Hey chef, how long till you plating up? 10 minutes. Beautiful. I'll have bums on seats in 10 minutes. I walked in there 5 minutes over. Chef, are we still good for 5 minutes? Yes, no problem. Great. I walked out. I waited a couple of minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, have a seat, please. Our mains are about to be served. They were the best crowd ever. They all sat down. Straight away, 250 people sat down. Bang. Chef, we're ready to go. I need another 5 minutes. So I said to the DJ, have this song ready. Once I say the word napkins, press play. So I walked out there, blah, blah, blah. I hope we've got this nationality here tonight. Great. I'm Italian, and I say my little spiel. Everyone, please, grab your napkins. And they played the music, and bring it up. Oh, like, come on, everyone. And all the Italians in the room, sing along. Hey, mom. And I filled the gap. So I used that. I'd rather do it that way, because it's entertaining, but it's more as a time filler or a time saver.
Yeah, but it is choreographed, isn't it? I mean, you're choreographing one side against the other. You choreograph the music with it, what you say, and everything.
I've done it that many times. I could do it in my sleep. Yeah.
No, it's fantastic. And Joe, you were actually saying that you've had to kind of upgrade or change your spiel because you're doing now sisters, of brothers, of families, and you don't want to do the same spiel as you had before.
Kind of the same intro. Look, they all hire me for what happens later, and they hire me a lot because of I like to be involved, and I'm running around like a headless chalk and MC duties, right? But when you start a wedding, that's what people remember you for a lot, because that's what they see you in the bear. You're there. No bridal party, it's you. So if you start your wedding the same way, sorry, people remember. Like
Right.
I used to have this thing that I did. I would say,
Well, it's on video anyway.
makes...
They're going to watch the video again and again, and they're going to go, "This guy, yeah."
Oh, it's not so much that, but you know, I'll go, "We all hit a party, make some noise," and I'll go to one side of the room, and I'll go, "Yeah," and then I'll go to the other side of the room, and they're usually louder. I go, "Yeah," I go, "Woo!" I go, "Staff, they get the extra bread rolls." You know, like, but I can't do the bread rolls joke anymore. So, you know, so I've changed it now, and I've changed other little parts, just evolving a little bit. That's all.
Right. So that's part of the job description is creative.
Weddings, Angela?
Sorry?
A little bit different to your weddings?
Oh, I have to, yeah. Especially if they got referred by their friends, or they said, "Oh, I saw you at my friend's wedding. I saw you at my sibling's wedding." I'm like, I got to be different. It has to be different. Yeah. Otherwise, you feel bored yourself. You're like, "Oh, I'm just repeating myself." No. Trying to put some.
But Angela, you've got a particular challenge, is that most of your weddings are Asian, and Asians are particularly shy. And how? You know, have you got any kind of, not tricks for want of a better word, to get people moving?
Yeah, I tried a few times. I know somewhere I read it's like, "Oh, MC shouldn't ask the guests to put their hands together to do things." But, well, to be honest with you, for Asian crowd, that's what you really have to do. You just have to tell them what to do. It's almost sometimes I feel like, oh, I'm the teacher.
Yes. Oh my God, that's exactly what I say.
You need to give them instruction.
when I do an Asian wedding, I feel like that's exactly the words I say. I feel like a school teacher.
High five.
Yeah, Angela, I need you to answer your question, right? What's with Asian weddings when they leave early?
Yeah.
Oh, it can. Their stomach is full. They gotta go home and sleep. Yeah. And most of them, they don't like to get onto the dance floor. They don't feel like to get onto the dance floor.
It's like a bridal waltz happens and there's a Greyhound bus waiting outside.
Yeah, this is difficult. I just explained for people who aren't familiar with this, but there is a particular challenge for wedding MCs because with the huge Asian community in Sydney, they have this weird thing, and I feel it's weird. I think it's a bit rude, really. As soon as the cutting of the speeches and the formalities, they're gone. They're absolutely out of that building, quick, smart, right? And I've been hired by Vietnamese bride and grooms and so forth to say, "We're only hiring you so because we want our guests to stay to the end, please," you know, because it's lonely. I mean, it might be a couple of hundred people there, and then they're left with 50 for the next couple of hours. It's a disaster.
I had that.
Yeah, that's why a lot of times when the couple, there was like, "Oh, we want to have a half an hour dance," and then we do something important. For example, they want to play like a really nice game, involve everybody, or they want that kind of the Ghana theme or the sparkle. And then I said, well, if you want to do a half an hour dance, don't expect all your guests to stay. Expect maybe you only have like 20-30% left, and then they go, Oh, no, let's do the other thing first. Yeah. I just really have to warn them. Yeah, if you want to do anything involve as many people as possible, do it before your dance party.
Right. Andrew, do you know I don't do games? I don't do games.
You don't do any games, yeah.
Right. Yeah, for us, because, we don't dance much, the only fun would be the games.
I did a Vietnamese wedding 3 weeks ago. And I've got she did a review on Avia for me because she was worried about her family being very conservative, but she'd been to weddings with me and she was worried. And again, at midnight, I think 10 people had left only. Wow. Yeah. Dance floor full. It was just reading the crowd. I had a really good DJ with me that night that did his homework with the bride and groom. Right. Really, it's important to DJs to listen to the bride and groom and the bride and groom to know their families and their music, and he really rocked it. And I had them all jumping and along, and I felt like a teacher again, but they were listening to me. Put your hands in the air and clap your hands, and it was great. Right. And I kept them there.
Guys,
I guess the choice of the song, the music is also another really key factor. It depends on what you play. If you half of the room only listen to the pop. Yes, that's right.
I'm not sure. I haven't got a professional account with Zoom, and this might go for just 40 minutes. So we're nearly up to 40 minutes, but just warning you anyway, that if it cuts short, then that's what's happened. But I really appreciate your input. I was hired by a bride and groom, and they said, what can you do to keep people there? And I thought about it, Asian crowd to the end. And I said, so I turned up and I said, look, everybody, I'm just informing you that there is a bus at the end of the evening. It's all going to take you to Star City Casino, right? And it worked. It worked. And everyone stood around and they said, where's the bus? I said, I'm only joking. Oh, no.
Oh, you're lucky. How's Thailand, by the way?
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, Thailand. Well, I actually, if you ask, this is day 5. I'm recording this at the Anantara Hotel, not at my home, because when I scheduled the Zoom call, I didn't realize this is day 5. We've got this weird thing. You have to isolate for day 1 and day 5. So in a couple of hours, the staff are coming to get me and take me to a hospital for the day 5 PCR test. And I cannot go out tonight, and I get my results at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's weird, isn't it? Really strange, right?
Hey, look, at least you're there and you're safe and you look healthy. Salty cup.
Yeah. Well, I wish I could do weddings here. I miss it. I wish I could speak the language. That might be many, many years to go. And yeah.
You've been there for 12 years.
Pete, I changed your location to Thailand on MC directory. So
okay,
you may watch out for any inquiry coming your way.
Well, Phuket used to be like Bali, right? I started to set up a little kind of business in Bali, but I just found Bali was not correct for me. But Phuket, wow, there are wedding planners there, Aussie wedding planners. And so I've been in touch with them, and then the pandemic hit, and they said, I'll get back in touch afterwards. But I will, and that would be great. I would love to do weddings in Phuket, I've
got 2 weddings booked next year in Fiji.
Oh, really? Wow.
Ooh, exciting.
Cool. Wow.
Hey, I was meant to have one in Greece last year, and that's now moved to Palm Beach in Sydney.
Right. Wow.
Not bad.
Same.
Now, Joe, you've mentioned a couple of times already. I just want to
I got to leave now.
Oh, okay, Angela. All right.
It's really nice to see you and see you, Joe, online. Yeah. Hopefully we can catch up online sometime soon. Yeah.
Anytime you like.
And take care. Enjoy your busy schedule, Joe.
Thanks, Angela.
And then best of luck with your PCR test results. Yeah.
He's fine.
Now, think positive.
Think positive and test negative.
Test negative. That's right.
That's right.
Like
it. See you. All the best.
All the best.
Bye.
Joe, I just wanted to pick up on what you were saying, how important you said if the DJ is good or if the DJ is bad. Just what do you do if the DJ is bad? I've had a few in my time, and it makes you work so much harder.
It does. So my trick to that is listen. So first thing I do when I see a crowd walk into the room, I evaluate myself. I try to imagine that I'm the DJ, so I should be knowing sort of what music he's going to play. And then if it doesn't work, if all of a sudden I'm seeing empty spaces on a dance floor of 200 people and there's only 20 or 30 people, at least I've got a backup of suggestions. Hey man, try this. I'll never say do this, because that's his job. But I'll say, hey man, why don't you try this? They usually listen to me. Right. And they try it and it works. So it's more about just working with them and trying. I've had some DJs that don't listen to me and it didn't work.
And how do you introduce yourself right at the beginning if you're unknown to them? Because I found it to be a very delicate kind of situation. They don't want you to come in and push around, but you are the boss, as you mentioned before, and someone's got to be the boss of the night, right?
And I eliminate that in the week off. So for this week's weddings, I've spoken to every photographer, videographer, DJ, car company. Your meeting just got upgraded, by the way. Maybe because I have a full Zoom account. I don't know.
Oh, cool.
So anyway, I speak to everyone, but especially if it's a DJ that I don't know, I call them up. Hey man, it's the MC for the night, blah, blah, blah. I always ask, have you worked a venue before? Especially if it's a difficult room. This is what you need. Let's work together. We'll sort it out. Have you got the entry songs? I'll help you overnight. When they get there, I'm usually there before the DJ anyway.
Right.
So I assist them. I help them. I become friends with them. That way there we get that friendly feeling. And then during the night, if I've got to give them advice, they listen.
Right. And what's a difficult room for you? Venues are all kind of shapes and sizes, and
it all depends. Some venues are really bad acoustically. They look spectacular, but they're bad acoustically.
Yeah.
And we could rattle them off the top of my head. So it's knowing the rooms, and I always say, have you worked in this room before? Great. Make sure you don't have this. Make sure you have that. Make sure you have lighting, whatever it is.
And what about putting I don't like the dance floor in the middle of the room. I find that is a kind of where energy space is. Sure, it might be the MC can sort of show their skills there and send everyone.
Tables either side.
Say at Sergeant's Mess, take for example, they like to put the dance floor right, and it's kind of all the energy is in front of the bridal table, and the people are off to one side, like the bride's side, and then the groom's side. I suggest, and it's worked very well, is to have the dance floor off to the far side when you walk in, and it worked really well.
Look, it is a difficult room because people want to maximize the view. They want to maximize, if you have it to one side and then you've got bridal waltzes and everything, the people right at the back of the room don't get it. So having it in the middle is the only way that works. I have seen that room done once completely different, where they had the bridal table at the far end.
Oh.
And they had a long runway, they had a dance floor, then they had a runway and tables, very, long ballroom style. It looked great.
How did it go?
Good, different, good.
I think because the placement of the dance floor is really important, isn't it? As far as energy in the room.
I feel that it needs to be in front of a bride and groom. Just because bridal tables, they spend a lot of money on. Their bridal table, they spend a lot of money on to make it look pretty. The bride looks pretty, the cake looks pretty. And when they have their first dance for photos, they want to get all that and the view in the back.
Yes, the view, right, yeah.
So having it, you've got to think of, I understand the energy, but imagine now you're the person sitting as far away from the dance floor and it's the bridal waltz. It doesn't work.
Yes, I've had a couple of problems with the cake being in front of the bride and groom when people are dancing early on before the cake is actually cut, and we've had to move because
you're a good MC. You're a good MC. I eliminate that fear. When I get to a venue and they're taking photos in the room with the cake, first thing I do to the bride when she leaves to go downstairs, I go, hey, we've got dancing on entry. Let's move the cake. Once they're walking in, there's no cake on the dance floor. They're just me in a different coloured jacket.
And you move it back in when it's time to cut it.
And I move it back in. Well, as soon as they go back in, as soon as they finish their entry and they've had their dancing, they sit down. I'll move the cake because between that point and cake cutting, there's nothing happening.
Yeah.
So it's safe.
Yeah. I nearly had a really big disaster one when we were all dancing, and of course it got a bit right. It stayed, thank God, but we moved it. And after that, this is early in my career, but after that we did kind of shift it to the side,
Well, I had one wedding where we couldn't move it. It was hanging. It was a hanging bridal table. Not bridal table, hanging cake table.
A cake table, hanging cake.
And it was a Greek wedding, and they were doing the big Greek dancing at the beginning. And I'm literally standing next to this cake like this, like making sure people walked in front of me so that they wouldn't hit the cake.
Really?
Because if they would have started that thing soon, so I just...
And
we couldn't move it.
Can you see any new trends in the mountain of weddings that you're doing at the moment? Is there a trend that you can spot, like with some decoration or some kind of tradition?
I like the way the colours are going. The colours are going to more pastel, which I like. I've never was a big fan of the severe colour, like the real dark reds or the big greens. I wasn't a big fan, so I like the way that it's going now. White and black is always going to be in. I don't see much colour difference when it comes to like dance floors and rooms and tablecloths. They're either white or black. And I'm finding that people now are doing a lot more research. If they're going to do that, They're doing more research with the rooms themselves, which is good. I'm finding people are not getting canapes at weddings anymore. They're getting more food inside. Dessert has changed at weddings. The more modern way to do dessert now is not a sit down. It's more of a tray service.
A buffet?
Or little cakes. You know, some venues have been doing it for a while. Sargent's Best is one of them, for example. They don't do a lot of sit down per person. They'll do like a platter or of little cakes or whatever it is. And people want it, they want it, they don't.
And what about speeches? Is there any difference in the way the speeches are done these days? I mean, I'm particularly sensitive to that because of microphones and germs, and I only ever use my microphone, and I have a second microphone for the speaker.
But I give it to everybody.
Yeah.
I carry disinfectant wipes. I don't care. I mean,
you don't wipe it or anything like that. You don't have a cover for it.
No. I wipe it in between as much as I can. I have disinfectant wipes, but at this point. No, one thing that I do at weddings when it comes to speeches, I do not like lecterns.
Right.
I have never used a lectern.
Interesting.
Never. I find them too formal, as in like a.
They're ugly, aren't they?
Like
They're really ugly.
Like, so when I do speeches, and look, this is me now working with the photographers and videographers. I care about their photos. So you get a photographer and a videographer on your side, it's a good thing. So when you start caring about photos, all the boys have to have their jackets on. No dirty plates. No mobile phones for anything important. Speeches, cupcake, bridal rolls. Things like that they love because I'm doing their job. That's what they want anyway.
You're making them,
speeches,
their job easier.
Always at the main table. You know, if the people are not sitting at the main table, they come and stand in between the bride and groom because it looks nicer on camera. But
really? Holding paper?
Yeah, piece of paper, microphone. And it's my microphone.
Right. Interesting. Wow. So they don't miss the lectern. They ask for it?
Nope. They all know at my weddings that I won't use them.
Oh, they're really ugly.
My microphone. Pete, you love this. I'm going to show you this. It's all about advertising, right? You see that?
Right. That's a big microphone you got there, man.
No, I've zoomed it in. I've got it close. Can you see that?
Right. Yep. Oh, you got your name on it. Right. Cool. And do you use see this here on my microphone? It's the gold microphone, but I always use a sock. No,
I've got the sock. I don't use it.
Oh, okay.
I don't need it. I think they're too big and ugly. So
they are, yeah. That's why I got a special yellow one. You know,
to make it even bigger. No, this is my Sennheiser G4. I love this microphone. It is really a really good microphone, great quality. And you know. I won't do a gig without it.
All right. This is an SM58, Shure SM58. And I got this special kind of gold thing because I have used it as a backup mic, but when I'm at home. But
it's not wireless.
No, it's not wireless at this stage, but I do have an SM58 wireless as well. Yeah.
Shure's are beautiful mics.
Yeah. And so, do you find most MCs provide or bring their own mic these days, or
That's my pet hate, Pete. When I hear an MC that doesn't have his own microphone, that's my pet hate. I have a good friend of mine that, after many years, just bought his because I have a saying that a tradesman should always have his own tools.
Yeah.
And that's just my saying, right? And I don't know. Most of the MCs in Sydney have a mic now. So,
I mean, it's like a photographer turning up without a camera. You know, kind of. And as far as MCing goes, you haven't got much stuff to carry, really. You might have an iPad or a notebook, and that's about it, and a microphone. And not like a photographer's got thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of stuff, and a DJ has got also speakers and
so we have to carry that.
You know, the least you can do is provide your own mic.
Yeah, I've been carrying my mic now for 4 years. At least. And
you've got two SM58s or those ones you just showed?
No, that's a Sennheiser G4.
Oh, Sennheiser G4. Okay, yeah.
Sennheiser G4.
And it's just got a little receiver and you just plug that into the house system?
Nope, always into the DJ.
Oh, into the DJ. Okay, yeah.
Always into the DJ. Never go into the house system. Most house speakers are crap. And even if they're good, they're still going to run through a DJ. But the backup there, so there's a thinking process. If I'm up at the mic on doing speaking, let's just say I give it to a father, and the dad's not as projecting as I am. I look at the DJ and I've already given him my signals to go up or down.
Right.
So again, there's a science behind it. Right? Everything you do, there's a science. So I know that if I give the microphone to the father, they know he is the father of the bride. And tonight, so I literally look at the DJ and go, up.
And have you ever had to kind of push the microphone up into the mouth of the speaker?
I make a joke with them in the bridal room, and I tell them, I go, the microphone, you keep it near your chin. It's not a wand. You don't wave it at people. Not down here. I go, if you drop it, you'll feel a very creepy hand underneath. And then they all remember. And then if they happen to drop, I stand behind the cameraman and I lock eyes with him.
Right.
They always look up or lock eyes to the person next. It could be the mother or whoever it is. And they do it.
Yeah, right. And this talk that you do in the bridal room before the bridal party is introduced is really, really crucial, isn't it? It sets the whole scene, and there's a bit of a science to that for sure, because that's psychology.
I have my spiel, but I go in there and I'm energy. I walk in there, you know, I start. I go, hi guys, I go for the people that don't even. My name's Joe. I go, you have to also, hi Joe. And they go, hi, Joe. I go, come on, louder. Hi, Joe. And they go, hi, Joe. Good. They all, sign's done there. They know my name.
Yeah, right, Joe.
I go through my thing, and I'm very energetic, and I'm fairly quick, and I go through the run sheet with them completely. And then I tell them, you don't have to remember any of it. I'll remind you during the night. I just want you to have fun. Then I go through the names, and I play the drinking game.
The what
game?
game?
Heard the drinking game? The drinking game.
No.
Okay, the drinking game, what I say is, guys, I'm going to go through your names. If I say your name wrong, I have to have a sip of scotch because scotch mixes everything. And then I go through the names. And I always get one or two names wrong. And they're like, oh, you got that wrong. You have to have a drink. Funny is, I've told every bride and groom that I always get two names wrong. Even at a Smith wedding, I'll say something wrong. But only in the bridal room. But see that laughter that you've got right there? Imagine that in 14 people. Yeah. And it's a psychological thing. Build them up. Then I get to the bride and go, come on, let's all say their names together. Then you, Mr. and Mrs. Woo!
Yeah,
and
good.
Then I line them up for war. They're all charged up. I line them up in their order behind the door. I go into the room. I light the room up, and I bring them in, and they're still buzzing because they can hear me following on from them. I lit up the room, and they come in, and it's for me. They come in, and I can see that they got that energy in their face. I get high fives. I've just met these people, and they're high fiving me because they saw the energy that I fed onto them. You know, so it's working. People have seen that, and they see me bounce around, and I jump around, and I'm like, wow. You know, and they go, wow, I want some of that energy.
The laughter is contagious, isn't it?
It is. It's good.
Yeah. I heard a beautiful quote years ago, and they said, laughter is the shortest distance between two people. And it's a very nice, it's a very kind of, because you can talk, but laughter brings two people closer than talking can, right?
Yeah. Well, it's funny, as MCs though, one thing that I promote is that I don't talk a lot on the microphone.
Right.
I can tell you right now that I've won jobs that people have we call them the interview, where they ring you, they want to have a meeting with you first or whatever. And one of the things I say to people is, guys, I don't talk a lot on the microphone. I'm very short and sharp. It's not about me. I don't drag on about how beautiful the day is. I'm very energetic when I talk, but I don't talk a lot. I don't do jokes. I don't do dad jokes. I don't do anything like that. I'm just all about a good MC's forgotten. That's one of the rules I learned when I first started MCing. A good MC's forgotten unless you're looking for an MC.
Unless you're looking for an MC.
Unless you're engaged, you're about to get engaged, and specifically look at, hey, we need an MC for our wedding. A good MC should be forgotten. He's not there to make a name for himself. He's not there to be the star of the party. He's there to make sure the bride and groom have fun and all their guests.
Well, you make other people the star. You make them feel like the star.
Again, I should be forgotten. I want people to walk away from that night and go, wow, what a great night. What a party. That was beautiful. Everything ran on time. I wasn't bored at all. What a great night. That's the feeling I want every person to ring their couple the weeks after, go, wow, man, your wedding was unbelievable. I don't want people to ring up and go, wow, your MC was unbelievable. That's not what I'm in this for.
No, but they do. They do say that.
They do if they notice, but it's not, again, it's not about me.
Yeah.
It's about them.
Yeah. In fact, Joe, you must also, it used to really kind of not depress me, but I used to wonder, and you've kind of just explained it, why there isn't a lot of knowledge about what an MC does. I still get this question, well, what do you do as an MC? I've been doing this since the late 90s, right? I wrote the book and and there's still a lot of people got no idea what the MC does. And that follows on from what you just said, because they're not really noticing what the MC does. The MC is in between everything and keeping people's energy and people the whole thing going, but they're not noticing it, correct?
There's still the stigma, Pete, of the uncle. I get my uncle to do it. You would have copped that a lot more 20 years ago than now. At least now we're sort of recognized. But,
yeah.
you know, but it's, you know, I still, when I do, you know, Hunter Valley weddings, Barrow weddings, you know, they all say to me, we normally get an uncle or a cousin that MCs, so having a professional MC helps.
But on the surface, that seems like such a obviously dumb idea. Why does it still exist?
I don't know. A lot of people don't know. I work, in my day job, I work with a company that is based in Brisbane, but we have an office here, obviously. But when I go up there, they've never heard of a professional MC. All the weddings they go to are a cousin or an uncle.
Unbelievable. That is,
Here's something that's going to make you laugh, Pete. I can tell you in the last 6 months, since we've come back, I know about 5 guys that have started MCing.
Right.
They've gotten into the game.
Uh-huh.
Because they all thought, oh, I could do that. One used to do fireworks, one used to be a drummer, one was a musician.
Oh. And they've watched you and they thought, I could do that.
No, it's not about against me. There's plenty of work, but I'm just saying they've all come to me for advice as well, and I've helped them out. But you can't teach passion. I've told you that. And I don't know, experience will tell you. You speak to some of the guys that have been doing it like yourself for years, Galati, John Eltons, and all these guys. There's things that we see on a night that other people don't see ahead of time. You know, like the story I told you before about the kitchen and how
that's right. Just anticipation.
You can't teach that. It's just you learn it. And you know, I don't know what kind of weddings they all doing, but they all came to me and said, "Man, we've done a couple of weddings. We're like, how do you do it? How do you do it night after night?"
Well, the only thing I can say, and I can recommend this as we're coming towards up to the hour, is there is a very, very good course called the Event Host Masterclass, which was done by me, and I'm very proud of it. Yeah. No, it's I'm very, you know, it's something I want to do for years. I had the book, and the book was okay, but you can't actually MC from a book, as you know. And so this is 80 videos altogether. And it's from start to finish, and there's marketing and everything like that. But there's also microphone technique. Now, microphone technique is like anticipation. It looks very.
You don't hold it like that. You talk like this. Or you put your hand right over this.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it? Isn't that? It's so obvious. I just have always said it's an extension of your arm. And that kind of sinks into people, you know. It's not about the microphone, but you know, you put MC into Google and you'll come up with a lot of rappers. So that's why I've made it the event host. I want the event host.
He's the event host, you're right. And can I give you my tip for microphone when I tell people? Imagine you're holding a fake hand in your hand. You're holding it from the wrist.
Right. A fake hand.
So that's what I tell people. You don't want to hold hands. You want to hold it from the wrist, so you got the hand in front of you.
Right.
So you're always that far away. So that's just my little thing I tell people. You always hold it from the bottom of the microphone. You don't want to hold it from the top and choke it. You want to go from the bottom.
No, it looks rude, especially for girls if they hold it at the top. You know what I mean?
But anyway, if you ever come back to Australia, if you ever do a live event and you need someone to talk, I will gladly offer my service.
Okay. Well, who knows? My plan is to have no plan at the moment, and because as soon as I make a plan, it changes, right? You know.
Right now should be to stay healthy and enjoy the sun, because we're copping rain here like no tomorrow.
Well, I was there for 2 months, and this is day 5 of isolation from coming back. I had 4 sunny days.
Yeah, I know. Trying my best, mate. But anyway.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you very, very much for that. It's really, really helpful information. And I'm sure that MCs experienced and newbies are going to get a lot from that. Let's do it again some other time. And, thank you once again. You better go off and get ready for your many.
I'm going to go to bed now because I've got work tomorrow morning. So okay, I'm going to say Saudi Cup.
Saudi Cup. Bye for now.
Remember.
Bye.
Mate. I'll speak to you soon.
Okay, cheers, mate. Okay, bye-bye.